Hi, my name is Ron Wilstein, and I'm a broker at Keller Williams Luxury Homes International in Park City, Utah. Thank you for joining me on this webinar presentation as we're going to look at the real estate activity in the Silver Springs area of Park City. I want to mention at the outset, if you're watching this and I don't happen to address a question that's on your mind, feel free to send me an email at ron@thewilsteinteam.com and I will promptly answer it. If you do want to call from me, please include your phone number and the preferred time for me to reach you, and I look forward to speaking to you. With that in mind, let's hop into our presentation. And before we look at the Silver Springs area, I'd like to just take a moment to talk about the Park City market overall. Over the past 12 months, there's been 1,391 sales in Park City. This consists of homes, condominiums, and vacant land combined, and these are all real estate brokerages combined. Good news is that's up 18% or 216 sales from the 12-month period a year before. Breaking this down into homes, condominiums, and land, we can see exactly what's happened. The number of home sales have gone up by 16%, from 503 sales to 582 sales. Condominium sales are also up by that same amount, from 520 sales to 603 sales. And then finally, lot sales or vacant land rose a whopping 36% from 152 sales the year before up to 206 during the past 12-month period. But what's happening with prices? Let's talk about prices. And we're going to look at home medium sold prices. This is for the period of time from November of 2012 through October of 2013. I've broken this up into two areas: the Park City area, which consists of the city limits, and then the Snyderville Basin. It's kind of the county area of Park City, but that picks up areas such as Silver Springs, Jeremy Ranch, Pine Brook, Summit Park, etc. Anyway, overall in the marketplace, you can see that prices have risen by 20% in the Park City limits, from $1,012,500 to $1,216,250. So nice appreciation there. In the Snyderville Basin, we see a 14% increase from a medium sold price of $620,000 to $709,000. As we turn to condominiums, we see another increase. In the city, it's a 7% increase from a medium sold price of $475,000 up to $509,000. In the Snyderville Basin, it rose 20% from $269,950 all the way up to $322,847. So nice to see that increase. When we turn to vacant land, again, a 10% increase in the city from a medium price of $500,000 up to $550,000. And then the Snyderville Basin has climbed 33% in value from $225,000 up to $300,000. So all in all, we've seen number of sales in all three categories: homes, condos, and lots, and prices in all three categories in areas in town and out of town on the rise in a very positive way. Now, if you take a look back at the very height of our market, and I'm going back now to 2005, we sold 2,989 properties during that year. These are homes, condominiums, and land. These are all real estate companies combined. And then you saw the bubble burst in 2006. It went down to 1,736 sales, then to 1,472, and on, all the way through to the bottom of the market in 2009. And then after that, things started strengthening up. The number of sales increased up to 955 sales. Then in 2011, 1,112, and then last year, 1,228. And while we're only looking at the data for the first 10 months of 2013, it looks like we will definitely surpass the total from last year. So we like this trend. It's all moving in the correct direction. And tip for buyers should buy now, because if this trend continues, then the likelihood is that if they passed on a property this year, came back in the next year or two, the values are going to be higher. And for sellers, that's good news. Now let's take a look at our Silver Springs area and see particularly what's happening in that neighborhood. And I've broken this into three main categories, or subdivisions, if you will: Northshore, Silver Springs, and Southshore. You may live or own a property in one of those specific neighborhoods, want to know what's happening just in that subdivision in addition to the overall Silver Springs area. So I'm providing with information on both. In Northshore, we can see that there were 8 sales the previous year, went up by 1 or 13% to 9 sales. That's positive. In the Silver Springs area, which is of course a larger subdivision, the previous year we had 7 sales. This year we've got 15, 114% increase in activity, very hot neighborhood market. And in South Shore, it increased by 33% from 3 sales previous year to 4 this past year. So all in all, the sales activity is very good for the single-family homes. Now, when we look here at the specifically in the neighborhood as a whole, that's where we're seeing this 56% increase. So now I've combined North Shore, South Shore, and Silver Springs. Gone from 18 to 28 to 56% increase in overall activity. Now, let's talk about absorption rate. The absorption rate is the rate in which the current inventory of listed properties is likely to sell based upon past sales. Silver Springs area homes as a whole have been selling on average 1 sale every 13 days. Now, based upon our current inventory of 5 homes on the market in the Silver Springs area, this equates to a 2-month inventory. Prices in the Silver Springs area has ranged from $470,000 all the way up to $1,197,000. These are sold prices, closed transactions. The medium sold price is $655,000, and the important thing to realize is that is an 18% increase over the previous year. Now, if we look at each subdivision separately, we see that Northshore has increased in value based upon medium sold prices by 15%, climbing from $609,000 now into the $700 price point at $702,500. Silver Springs area climbed by 23% from $569,000 all the way up to $700,000, and South Shore climbed by 4% from $596,900 up to $623,750. So each neighborhood is definitely on the rise. This is the combined number. So we're looking at the Silver Springs area as a whole, up 18%. Now, if you're interested in receiving the specific details on what I'm presenting here, I'm happy to send them to you. Just send me an email at ron@thewillsteinteam.com and just mention in there that you watched the Silver Springs webinar, you'd like the data on the home sales, and I'll provide that. And any other question you have, I'll be happy to answer that as well. Now, I want to take a moment just to share with you how you can get updates like what this webinar is providing anytime that you wish. We do these webinars regularly and we update them frequently, but you may be interested in the latest news, and if you go to our website, you can get that information. If you bookmark our website, which is BuyParkCityRealEstate.com or thewillsteinteam.com, both will take you to the same place, you can actually bookmark the specific page, which is BuyParkCityRealEstate.com/Silver Springs area, or thewillsteinteam.com/Silver Springs area. And that will take you directly to the page on my website, which will provide you with this information. Let me just open up the page real quickly. Here you're looking at our website, and specifically you're looking at the Silver Springs area. On this website, we give a little bit of information about the area, and then there's 4 pull-down buttons here that I want to bring your attention to. The green one, which when I hover over it changes to tan, says watch a webinar for an update. So in essence, if you push that button, you would be watching the most recent webinar, which is the one we're recording right now. If you go to the blue button, which changes colors, it says send me current sales data on Silver Springs area. That would be the button that you would push. And if you do, it takes you to this screen, which says current sales data request. You take a moment and fill out your name and your email address, and if you want to put your mailing address in there, that's fine. If you do, by the way, we will send you our quarterly newsletter to update you on what's happening in the marketplace. And then you come down to the inquiry criteria, and let's say for interest you're interested in the North Shore area. You would type North Shore in there. You could put Silver Springs, South Shore, Frankly, you can put anything in there. If it's a single-family neighborhood, you can leave it on home. And if you are an inquirer from a buyer point of view, leave it on buyer. If not, click on this, go down to seller. And then in your comments, if you have any questions or want to type anything in particular, just send me a message there and I'll address that. And then there's the submit form. All you do is push that button. That will send this request to me. I will get you that data, and you can do that anytime you want, and frankly, you can do that as often as you want. And that is how you get an update as to what's happening in the Silver Springs area anytime you're curious. Now, returning to our webpage, just so I can point out a feature or two, below those buttons is the search for homes by subdivisions in Silver Springs and search for condos. If I do the search for homes, you can actually make your search very specific to Silver Springs neighborhood, to Southshore as an example, and then you can ask for specific information in Southshore. You can do whatever you want there, but it provides you with good information. Also, just a little bit lower down on the page, you'll start seeing the listings show up. 14 properties found today, and you can search them by price range. And then what you can do is you can select any one of them. I'll just pick this first one by clicking on the picture, and that takes you to the property. And it's nice. It immediately starts to scroll through images of the property and allows you to get some details there, see what it looks like. If you have any questions, you can select the inquiry button. If you want to see it, request a showing. If you're monitoring and keeping track of your favorites on our website, you can click Add to Favorites. So lots of good information, and then lower down here is just more details about the particular listing. And you can do this with any property that we have posted here, whether it is one of my listings or someone else's. The other thing that's helpful, and a lot of people like this, if you go to this bird's eye view button and push that, you'll get an aerial photograph, and this will allow you to see, for instance, that property is right there on a cul-de-sac, and you can see what's around it. So nice features to take advantage of with our website and with our properties. So take advantage of that. Enjoy our website. It's there for your assistance. Now, if you happen to be curious about what your property is worth, whether it's in Silver Springs or elsewhere, or a specific neighborhood, send me an email, ron@thewellsteamteam.com. I'll contact you, arrange a time to see your property, provide you with that information. There's no cost, there's no obligation. It's a service that we offer for you. As we wrap up now, I just want to remind you that every month we do a webinar entitled Park City Market Talk. It's about a 20-minute webinar, and we update it every month by the second Tuesday of the month. And we will cover, for instance, a lot of the information about the Park City market overall, like we did at the beginning of this webinar. And then we address different questions that are on people's minds based upon the time of the year. We're now entering into the ski season. People are wondering what's happening at the resorts. Some people are curious the impact of Vail on the Canyons Resort and so forth. So we're always going to update you on those things. So if you want to know about those or participate on those, you're welcome to. They're on our website. We will send out a reminder by email if you want to be on that list. We're happy to. Just send me an email. And if you want to watch past webinars, you can go to the website, viewparkcityrealestate.com or thewellsteamteam.com/webinar archives. There's a record of all these webinars that we presented. So I want to thank you for joining me for this webinar. Appreciate the time to provide this information. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to give me a call, and certainly have a wonderful rest of this year from Park City, Utah.